Lumayas na kayo. Ngayon din. Akala nyo ginto ang upa nyo para patagalin ng ganito. Mga walang hiya. Ang boses ni Aling Nida, ang landlady ni Amber, ay kasing lakas at kasing talas ng kidlat na gumuhit sa madilim na kalangitan. Sumabay pa ang malakas na buhos ng ulan na parang nakikisimpatya sa kalunos-lunos nilang kalagayan. Katatapos lang ni Amber mamalengke, bitbit ang isang maliit na supot ng gulay at 1 kilong bigas, sapat lang para sa ilang araw, at ang 5 taong gulang niyang anak na si Pia, na mahigpit ang yakap sa basang-basa nitong stuffed toy na pusa. Si Muning. Aling Nida, parang awa niyo na po, pagmamakaawa ni Amber, pilit tinatakpan si Pia mula sa hagupit ng ulan at sa mga matatalas na salita ng matanda. Bigyan niyo pa po kami kahit ilang araw lang. Naghahanap pa po ako ng malilipatan at hinihintay ko pa po yung sahod ko sa Biyernes. Ang dibdib niya ay parang pinipiga. This was her worst nightmare come true. Araw. Anong akala mo sa akin, bangko? Ilang buwan ka nang delayed, Amber. Palagi na lang yan ang linya mo. Sawang-sawa na ako sa mga palusot mo, sigaw ni Aling Nida, hindi tinatablan ng ulan o ng awa. Nagsimula na itong ilabas ang iilang gamit nila Amber mula sa maliit na kwartong nirerentahan nila, 1 lumang banig, ilang pal na kahon ng damit, 1 maliit na gas stove. Bawat bagsak ng gamit sa basang semento ay parang dagok sa puso ni Amber. Si Pia ay napahikbi, lalong humigpit ang yakap kay Amber. Mama, si Muning bibasa na po. Ikle, anak, huwag kang matakot. Okay lang si Muning, papatuyuin natin siya mamaya, bulong ni Amber, hinalikan ang noo ng anak, kahit ang sarili niyang mga luha ay nakikipag-unahan na sa patak ng ulan sa kanyang pisngi. Lungkot. Gulat. Hiya. Lahat naghahalo-halo sa dibdib niya. Paano sila napunta sa ganito? She worked 2 part-time jobs, 1 waitress sa umaga, 1 cleaner sa gabi, para lang maitaguyod si Pia. Pero sadyang minsan kapos pa rin. Huwag kang umarte dyan na parang ikaw pa ang agrabyado, Amber, patuloy ni Aling Nida, itinulak palabas ang 1 plastik na balde na puno ng mga laruan ni Pia. Kasalanan mo to. Kung marunong ka lang dumiskarte sa buhay, hindi ka magiging pabigat sa iba. Opo, Aling Nida, kasalanan ko na po. Pero parang awa niyo na, yung anak ko po, nilalagnat pa iyan kagabi, pakiusap ni Amber, desperada na. Wala na siyang pakialam sa sarili niya, pero para kay Pia, luluhod siya kung kailangan. Abay, problema mo na yan. Hindi ko na problema yan. Ang huling salita ni Aling Nida ay sinabayan ng malakas na pagsara ng gate, iniwan sila ni Amber at Pia sa labas, basang-basa, walang materhan, kasama ang kanilang mga abang kagamitan na nakakalat sa tabi ng kalsada. Napaupo si Amber sa gilid ng daan, niyakap si Pia. The rain was relentless. Para silang 2 basang sisiw na inabandona. Wala siyang maisip na ibang puntahan. Ang mga kamag-anak niya ay nasa probinsya. Ang mga kaibigan niya, ilan lang at alam niyang may sari-sarili rin silang problema. Ayaw niyang makadagdag pa. Mama, giniginaw na po ako, sabi ni Pia, nanginginig ang maliit na katawan. Saglit lang, anak, sabi ni Amber, hinubad ang manipis niyang jacket at ibinalot kay Pia, kahit siya na mismo ang nanginginig sa ginaw. Kinapa niya ang bulsa. Kaunting barya, sapat lang siguro pamasahe sa jeep. Pero saan sila pupunta? Habang abala si Amber sa pag-iisip, 1 itim na kotse ang huminto sa tapat nila. The tinted windows made it impossible to see who was inside. Medyo kinabahan si Amber. Sa panahon ngayon, mahirap na magtiwala. Dahan-dahang bumukas ang bintana sa driver's side. At mula sa loob, 1 pamilyar na mukha ang sumilip. Medyo nagulat, medyo nag-aalangan. Amber, ikaw nga ba yan? Nanlaki ang mga mata ni Amber. Ang boses na iyon ang mukhang iyon imposible. Si Caleb. Caleb Monteverde. Ang tahimik pero sobrang talented niyang kaklase noong high school. Ang paboritong subject ng mga bullies noon dahil sa pagiging aloof at laging may sariling mundo, laging may hawak na sketchpad. Anong ginagawa niya dito? At bakit parang bigla siyang nahiya na makita siya nito sa ganitong kalagayan? Si Caleb, bumaba ng kotse, hawak ang 1 payong. He looked different. Hindi na siya yung payatot at laging nakayukong teenager. He was taller now, with a more defined jawline. His eyes, though, still held that same quiet intensity, that same hint of melancholy she remembered. Nakasuot ito ng simpleng itim na t-shirt at maong, pero bakit parang ang gwapo niya? Amber, ano ba yung iniisip mo? Ang anak mo, nanginginig na sa ginaw. Si Caleb, nauutal niyang tanong. Gulat. Yun ang unang naramdaman niya. Bakit ngayon pa? Bakit sa ganitong sitwasyon pa sila ulit magkikita matapos ang halos 10 taon? Lumapit si Caleb, pinayungan sila ni Pia. His eyes scanned their surroundings, the scattered belongings, Aling Nida's closed gate, Pia shivering in Amber's arms. His expression shifted from surprise to concern, then something else, something Amber couldn't quite decipher. Parang may bahid ng lungkot. O awa? Ayaw niya ng awa. Anong nangyari? Tanong ni Caleb, boses niya mahinahon tulad ng dati. Walang bahid ng panghusga. Amber felt a flush creep up her neck. Hiya. Sobrang hiya. O wala to, okay lang kami. Medyo nagkaaberya lang sa tinitirhan namin. She tried to sound casual, like this was just a minor inconvenience. Sinong niloloko mo, Amber? Si Pia, na kanina patahimik, ay sumilip mula sa balikat ni Amber. Mama, who's he po? Caleb looked at Pia, and a small, almost imperceptible smile touched his lips. Hello there, little one. I'm Caleb, an old friend of your mama. Amber couldn't meet his gaze. Pia, this is Tito Caleb. Kaklase ko siya dati. Anong okay lang? Caleb said, his gaze returning to Amber, more serious this time. Amber, basang-basa kayo. At yung mga gamit niyo pinalayas ba kayo? Diretso ang tanong. Walang paligoy-ligoy. Napayuko si Amber. There was no point denying it, tumango siya, a single tear escaping and tracing its path down her rain-soaked cheek. Overdue yung renta, she mumbled, her voice barely a whisper. Wala na kaming mapuntahan. The silence that followed was heavy, punctuated only by the drumming of rain on Caleb's umbrella. Amber braced herself for judgment, for pity. Instead, Caleb said, sumakay na kayo sa kotse. Nag-angat ng tingin si Amber. Iha! Sa kotse! It's warm there. At least for now. Ihahatid ko kayo kung saan nyo man gustong pumunta. He opened the back door of his car. Pia, come on, you can sit here. Pia looked at Amber, then at Caleb, then back at Amber. Parang nagtatanong kung okay lang. Amber hesitated. Sumakay sa kotse ng isang taong halos 10 taon na niyang hindi nakikita. Isang taong halos hindi niya nakausap noon sa school. Pero yung anak niya nanginginig na talaga. At wala silang ibang mapupuntahan. Pride versus Pia's well-being. The choice was obvious. Aside, Amber finally said, her voice small. Salamat, Caleb. Tinulungan ni Caleb si Pia na makapasok sa kotse, inalalayan pa ito sa seatbelt. Then he turned to Amber. Ikaw na bahala sa mga gamit na kaya mong dalhin. Yung iba, babalikan na lang natin kung pwede pa. He looked towards Aling Nida's house, his jaw tightening almost imperceptibly. Amber quickly gathered what she could, if backpack with their clothes, Pia's small bag of essentials, and of course, si Muning. Caleb helped her put them in the trunk. Pagpasok ni Amber sa passenger seat, a wave of warmth enveloped her. Ang bango sa loob ng kotse. It smelled clean, with a faint hint of something woodsy, like sandalwood and paint. Parang amoy pintura. Naalala niya, mahilig nga pala mag-drawing at magpinta si Caleb noon. Saan ko kayo ihatid? Caleb asked, starting the engine. Amber looked at Pia in the rearview mirror. The little girl was already looking a bit more comfortable, her shivering subsiding. Hindi ko alam, Caleb, she admitted, her voice laced with defeat. Wala akong maisip. Caleb was silent for a moment, navigating the rain-slick streets. You can stay with me for tonight, he said, his voice even. May maliit akong art studio. Hindi kalakihan pero may espasyo. At tuyo. Amber stared at him, gulat na naman. Sayo. Caleb, nakakahiya naman. Hindi ko. Amber, he cut her off gently. It's just for tonight. Para makapagpahinga kayo, lalo na si Pia. Bukas, we can figure things out. He glanced at her, a flicker of an unreadable emotion in his eyes. Hindi ka na umiiyak? The question caught her off guard. It was so simple, yet it carried so much weight. Parang may iba pang kahulugan. Hindi lang tungkol sa ulan o sa pagpapalayas. Parang tungkol sa lahat ng pinagdaanan niya. She looked away, out the window at the blurred city lights. Sinusubukan kong hindi na, she whispered. Pero ang totoo, gusto na niyang humagulgol. Gusto niyang isigaw lahat ng sakit, lahat ng pagod. Pero hindi ngayon. Not in front of Caleb. Not yet. For now, there was a warm car, a kind offer from an unexpected source, and a teeny glimmer of hope in the midst of the storm. And for Pia's sake, she would hold on to that. Kahit gaano pa ito kaliit. Kahit gaano pa ka-awkward ang sitwasyon. Caleb drove on in silence, the rhythmic swish of the windshield wipers stark contrast to the turmoil in Amber's heart. Hindi niya alam kung anong iisipin. Ang dating tahimik na kaklase, ngayon ay parang anghel na ipinadala sa gitna ng unos. Pero bakit? Anong dahilan? At paano niya ito masusuklian? Ang daming tanong, pero sa ngayon, ang pinakamahalaga, ligtas sila ni Pia. At Tuyo. Caleb's art studio wasn't grand, but it was him. It was a converted an old, two-story house in quieter part of the city, the kind with high ceilings and large windows. The ground floor was chaotic yet charming workspace. Canvases of various sizes leaned against the walls, some blank, some half-finished, some bursting with vibrant colors. Tables were strewn with tubes of paint, brushes of all shapes and sizes, sketchbooks, and a few intriguing sculptures made from found objects. Ang amoy ng pintura, turpentine, at yung woodsy scent na naamoy ni Amber sa kotse ni Caleb ay mas matapang dito, pero hindi. It felt creative, alive. Pasensya na sa kalat, Caleb said, a hint of a wry smile on his lips as he led them in. Hindi ko inaasahang magkakaroon ng bisita, lalo na ng ganito ka-cute. He winked at Pia, who giggled and hid behind Amber's legs, peeking out curiously. This is amazing, Caleb, Amber said, genuinely impressed. Despite the organized chaos, there was a sense of peace in the space. You still paint? More than ever, he replied, his gaze sweeping across his work. It's what's due now. Full-time. The second floor was a small living area, a compact kitchen, a bathroom, and a modest-sized room with a mattress on the floor, small bookshelf, and a window overlooking a small, overgrown garden. Dito ako natutulog, Caleb explained. You and Pia can take this room for tonight. Sa baba na lang ako, sa sofa. Caleb, hindi na. Nakakahiya na talaga, Amber protested, overwhelmed by his generosity. Kahit sa sahig lang kami, okay na. Amber, please, Caleb insisted, his voice gentle but firm. You need proper place to rest, lalo na si Pia. And I insist. Consider this a small favor from an old classmate. He smiled again, and for a fleeting moment, Amber saw a glimpse of the quiet, observant boy she vaguely remembered from high school. Defeated, Amber nodded. Salamat ulit, Caleb. Sobra-sobra na to. While Caleb went downstairs to prepare something for them to eat, probably just instant noodles, but at least it's hot, he'd said with a self-deprecating smile, Amber helped Pia change into dry clothes. The little girl, despite the earlier ordeal, seemed to be quickly warming up to their new surroundings, her eyes wide with wonder at all the art supplies downstairs. Mama, can Kuya Caleb draw mooning? Pia asked, holding up her slightly damp stuffed cat. Amber smiled. Maybe tomorrow, anak. Pagod na si Kuya Caleb. Soon, the smell of something more appetizing than instant noodles wafted up the stairs. It smelled like sinigang. Amber's stomach rumbled. Kanina pa pala sila hindi kumakain. When they went down, Caleb had set up a small, foldable table. And on it was a steaming bowl of pork sinigang, a plate of rice, and even a small saucer of patties with sili. Wow, Amber breathed out, genuinely surprised. Akala ko ba instant noodles lang? Caleb chuckled, a bit sheepishly. May konti pa palang tira sa ref, good thing, paborito ko tong lutuin. Pasensya na kung yan lang, ha? Paborito ko rin to. Pia exclaimed, her eyes shining as she looked at the soup. The three of them ate together, an unlikely trio brought together a storm and an eviction. The sinigang was delicious, perfectly sour, the pork tender, the vegetables crisp. It was comfort food, and Amber realized how much she had missed a simple, home-cooked meal like this. Nagdalawang part-time job siya, pero madalas, instant food lang ang kaya ng oras at budget niya. Pia, true to her word, loved the sinigang, even asking for its second serving of rice. Caleb watched her with a soft expression, occasionally helping her spoon the soup. Amber found herself watching Caleb. He was quiet, but his presence was comforting. He didn't ask too many questions about her situation, for which she was grateful. He just was there. After dinner, while Amber was washing the few dishes, Caleb had protested, but she insisted. Pia had somehow managed to coax Caleb into showing her his sketchbooks. Amber watched them from the small kitchen doorway. Lino was sitting on the floor, Pia beside him, her small face wrapped with attention as Caleb flipped through pages filled with intricate drawings, landscapes, portraits, abstract designs. Wow, Kuya Caleb, you're so galing. Pia gushed, pointing at his drawing of a bird in flight. Can you teach me how to draw like that? Caleb smiled. Maybe. If you promise to practice every day. Promise po. Amber felt a warmth spread through her chest, feeling she hadn't experienced in a long, long time. Kilig. No, it couldn't be. Siguro paghanga lang sa kabaitan niya. Or maybe, it was just relief, seeing her daughter happy and safe after the traumatic day they'd had. Later, as Amber was tucking Pia into the mattress upstairs, the little girl whispered, Mama, I like Kuya Caleb. He's nice. And he smells like crayons. Amber chuckled softly, kissing Pia's forehead. He does, doesn't he? Matulog ka na, anak. We have a long day tomorrow. Once Pia was asleep, Amber went downstairs. Caleb was on the old sofa, sketching in a small notebook, a single lamp casting a warm glow around him. He looked up as she approached. Tulog na siya, he asked softly. Amber nodded. Thank you, Caleb. For everything. Hindi ko alam kung paano kita pasasalamatan. Wala iyon, Amber, he said, setting his sketchbook aside. Kaibigan kita. O naging kaibigan. Dati. Amber sat on a nearby wooden stool. To be honest, Caleb, hindi kita masyadong natatandaan na naging close tayo noon. You were always so quiet, laging nasa sulok, nagdodrawing. Caleb looked down at his hands. Yeah. I wasn't very sociable. He paused, then looked at her, his gaze direct. Pero mahalaga ka pa rin sa akin, Amber. Kahit noon pa. Amber's heart skipped a beat. Mahalaga? Anong ibig niyang sabihin? Caleb, There was this one time, Caleb continued, his voice a bit distant, as if reliving a memory. Second year high school. May group of bullies, sila Mark Chavez. Pinagtitripan nila ako, lagi. Kasi it was small and quiet, and a guess word for them. One afternoon, after class, they cornered me sa may likod ng gihait. They were about to, well, you know. Bigla kang dumating. Amber frowned, trying to recall. Second year. Mark Chavez. The name sounded vaguely familiar. You were with your friends, pero humiwalay ka, Caleb went on. You shouted at them. Sabi mo, tigilan niyo nga siya. Ano bang ginagawa niya sa inyo? They were surprised, kasi you were popular, one of the it girls. Hindi nila ini-expect na papansinin mo yung isang tulad ko. They made some excuses, tapos umalis na lang sila, medyo napahiya. Slowly, the memory surfaced. A vague image of a scrawny Caleb, looking terrified, and a group of bigger boys. Nga. She remembered feeling a surge of indignation. Ayaw niya ng mga bullies. Naaalala ko na, Amber said softly. Pero it was nothing, Caleb. Ginawa ko lang yung tama. Caleb shook his head. It wasn't nothing to me, Amber. You were the only one who stood up for me. Ever. That day you changed something in me. You showed me that not everyone was cruel. That kindness existed. He looked at her, his eyes filled with an intensity that made her breath catch. After that, I always looked out for you. From afar. I admired your strength, your spirit. Kahit hindi mo alam. Amber was speechless. All these years, she never knew. She never knew she had made such an impact on someone, especially on the quiet, artistic boy who barely spoke to anyone. Kaya nung nakita kita kanina, Caleb said, his voice dropping to a near whisper, basang-basa, mukhang problemado. I couldn't just drive you. Hindi ko kaya. A wave of emotion washed over Amber, gratitude, surprise, and a strange, unfamiliar flutter in her chest. This man, this almost stranger from her past, had carried a memory of her kindness for years. And now, he was repaying it in a way she never could have imagined. Caleb, she began, her voice thick with unshed tears. I don't know what to say. He offered a small, sad smile. Wala kang kailangang sabihin, Amber. Just let me help you. Kahit ngayon lang. Amber looked at him, at his kind eyes, his gentle smile, the quiet strength that emanated from him. For the first time in what felt like forever, she felt a flicker of hope that wasn't just for Pia, but for herself too. Maybe things could get better. She stood up, suddenly feeling exhausted. I should get some sleep. Maaga pa kami bukas. CJ, Caleb said. If you need anything, just call me. As Amber climbed the stairs back to the room where Pia was sleeping soundly, she couldn't shake off Caleb's words. Mahalaga ka pa rin sa akin. The phrase echoed in her mind, bringing with it a warmth that seeped into the cold, lonely corners of her heart. She lay down beside Pia, listening to the distant sounds of the city and the soft scratching of Caleb's pencil on paper from downstairs. For the first time in a very long time, Amber felt a sense of peace. Nakakahanap siya ng pansamantalang kanlungan, hindi lang mula sa ulan, kundi pati na rin sa bagyo ng kanyang buhay. At ang kanlungan na iyon ay may pangalan, Caleb. Pero hanggang kailan? At anong kapalit? These questions lingered, but for tonight, she pushed them away. For tonight, she would allow herself to feel grateful. And maybe, just maybe, a little bit of kilig. The next few days at Caleb's studio settled into a strange, almost domestic curriculum. Caleb would wake up early, and the smell of coffee and sometimes, pandesal, would drift upstairs. Pia, surprisingly, adjusted quickly. She adored Kuya Caleb and would spend hours watching him paint or drawing her own little masterpieces with a set of crayons Caleb had given her. Amber, on the other hand, was a bundle of nerves and gratitude, all mixed up. She tried to make herself useful, cleaning the small living area, washing their clothes with a hand in the small bathroom sink, attempting to cook with the limited ingredients Caleb had. Caleb would always tell her not to worry, that he was fine managing on his own, but Amber insisted. It was the least she could do, ayaw niyang maging pabigat. One afternoon, while Pia was napping, Amber found herself idly flipping through an old high school yearbook she'd salvaged from her belongings. It was battered and worn, but it held memories. She found her own picture, a smiling, carefree girl with bright eyes. How long ago that seemed. Then, she searched for Caleb's photo. There he was, in the class picture, standing at the very edge, slightly out of focus, his gaze directed somewhere beyond the camera. And then, in the art club section, a candid shot of him, hunched over a drawing board, a small, almost imperceptible smile on his face. He looked so young, so vulnerable. Mahalaga ka pa rin sa akin. His words from that first night echoed in her mind. She still couldn't quite process it back. The unspoken question hung in the air between them. Caleb was kind, almost too kind. He'd share his meals with them, make sure Pia had everything she needed, even buy her small treats like ice cream or a new coloring book. He never asked for anything in return. He never complained about the disruption to his solitary life. He just gave. Amber tried to keep her distance emotionally. She was grateful, immensely so, but she was also scared. Scared of depending on him too much. Scared of what he might expect in return, even though he never hinted at anything. Scared of being hurt again. Her past with Pea's father, Mark, had left deep scars. Mark had been charming and attentive at first, then slowly became controlling, and eventually, abusive, before abandoning her when she got pregnant. The memory still made her flinch. Ayaw na niyang maulit yun. Kaya naman, she started avoiding Caleb when she could. If he was painting in the main studio space, she'd stay upstairs with Pia. If he tried to engage her in conversation beyond the usual pleasantries, she'd find an excuse to busy herself. She knew it was unfair to him, after all his kindness, but the fear was a tight knot in her stomach. Caleb, perceptive as always, seemed to notice her withdrawal. He didn't push. He just continued his quiet routine, his presence steady, unobtrusive backdrop to their temporary life. Pero minsan, nahuhuli ni Amber ang mga mata niya na nakatingin sa kanya, a strange, unreadable expression in their depths. Pagkalito. Yun ang nararamdaman ni Amber. One evening, after a particularly quiet dinner where Amber had barely spoken 2 words, she couldn't take it anymore. Pia was already asleep. Caleb was downstairs, cleaning his brushes, the soft clinking sound echoing in the otherwise silent studio. Amber took deep breath and went down. He looked up as she approached, the questioning look in his eyes. Caleb, she began, her voice a bit shaky. We need to talk. He put down his brushes. Okay. About what? About this, Amber said, gesturing vaguely around them. About us staying here. About you being so nice. Caleb leaned against his work table, his arms crossed. Is there a problem with me being nice? Wala. I mean, no. It's just tea. Amber struggled for words. Bakit, Caleb? Bakit mo to ginagawa? We were practically strangers in high school. You don't owe me anything. Lalo na yung sinabi mong tinulungan kita noon. That was years ago. It was a small thing. It wasn't small to me, Amber, Caleb said softly, his gaze unwavering. Okay, fine, Amber conceded. Pero this? Letting us stay here, feeding us, taking care of Pia, it's too much. What do you want in return, Caleb? Be honest with me. Kasi kung may ini-expect ka. Don't think, Ken. Stop, Caleb interrupted, his voice still soft but with an edge of pain. Do you really think so lowly of me, Amber? Na I'm only doing this because I expect something in return? Amber flinched. No. Hindi yun ang ibig kong sabihin. It's just, I'm not used to this. People aren't usually this kind. Without reason. Her voice broke slightly on the last word. The ghosts of her past were whispering in her ear. Caleb walked closer, stopping a few feet away from her. The air crackled with unspoken emotions. I do have reason, Amber. Amber's heart pounded. Ito na. Sasabihin na niya. Ano, she whispered, bracing herself. Caleb looked down, then met her eyes again, his own filled with a vulnerability that mirrored what she'd seen in his yearbook photo. Noong high school, Amber, after you stood up for me, hindi lang paghanga ang naramdaman ko. He took deep, shaky breath. I fell in love with you. The confession hung in the air, heavy and unexpected. Amber stared at him, speechless. Gulat. Takot. Pagkalito. Lahat sabay-sabay. Si Caleb. In love with her. Noon. I know it sounds crazy, Caleb continued. I agree, almost sad smile on his lips. The quiet, weird kid falling for the popular, pretty girl. Glitch, right? But it was true. You were everything I wasn't. Confident, outspoken, full of life. You were like bright light, and it was just a shadow. I never thought you'd even notice me, let alone feel the same way. Kaya kept it to myself. For years. Amber's mind was reeling. Hindi niya to inaasahan. All this time, he was. So, nung nakita kita ulit, Caleb went on, his voice barely above a whisper. That night, in the rain it was like. I don't know. Parang yung puso ko, biglang naalala lahat. Yung sakit na makita kang umiiyak, yung kagustuhan kong protektahan ka bumalik lahat. He ran a hand through his hair, looking distressed. Maybe ko part of me still loves you, Amber. Or maybe, I'm just a sentimental fool stuck in the past. Amber didn't know what to say. Her throat felt tight. Gratitude for his honesty warred with deep-seated fear. If he loved her, then this kindness it wasn't just kindness. It was something more. And that terrified her. Hindi siya handa para doon. Caleb, She shook her head, tears welling up in her eyes. I can't. I'm a mess. Look at me. I have a daughter. I have nothing. Ano nang maibibigay ko sa'yo? The words tumbled out, raw and painful. Hindi ako humihingi ng kahit ano, Amber, Caleb said, his voice pained. I wanted you to know the truth. Para hindi ka na mag-isip ng kung ano-ano. Para maintindihan mo kung bakit kita tinutulungan. Pero hindi to tama, Caleb, Amber whispered, tears finally falling. You deserve someone better. Someone who isn't broken like me. Caleb took a step closer, his hand reaching out as if to touch her, then he seemed to think better of it and let it drop. Amber, you're not broken. You're strong. You're a survivor. And you're a wonderful mother to Pia. His voice was filled with conviction. But Amber couldn't see it. All she could see were her failures, her past mistakes. I appreciate your honesty, Caleb. Sobra. Pero, I think it's best if Pia and I leave. Bukas na bukas din, we've imposed on you long enough. She couldn't look at him. The guilt of potentially leading him on, even unintentionally, was too much to bear. Caleb was silent for a long moment. When he spoke, his voice was quiet, resigned. If that's what you want, Amber. Hindi kita pipigilan. He turned and walked slowly towards the stairs leading to his makeshift bedroom on the ground floor, the one he'd been using since they arrived. He didn't look back. Amber stood there, frozen, listening to his retreating footsteps. Did she do the right thing? Or did she just push away the one person who had shown her genuine kindness and, unbelievably, love? Takot. Pagkalito. Those were the only things she felt now, a cold, suffocating blanket. That night, Pia woke up crying. She was burning with fever. Amber panicked. Kinapa niya ang noo ni Pia, sobrang init. The little girl was whimpering, her small body trembling. Amber didn't know what to do, wala silang gamot. It was the middle of the night. Desperate, she rushed downstairs. Caleb! Caleb! Caleb was instantly awake, rushing out of his room. What's wrong? Si Pia. Nilalagnat siya. Sobrang taas. Amber cried, her voice shaking. Without a word, Caleb was at Pia's side, his cool hand on her forehead. His expression was grim. We need to bring her to a clinic. Or a hospital. But it was still raining hard outside, and Amber knew they didn't have money for a hospital. Wala tayong pera, Caleb, she sobbed. Caleb didn't hesitate. Ako na nang bahala. Get her ready. He gently carried Pia, wrapped in a blanket, to his car. Amber followed, her heart pounding with fear. They drove through the dark, rainy streets to the nearest 24-hour community clinic. Caleb stayed with them the whole time. He paid for the consultation and the medicines. He held Pia's hand while the doctor examined her. He even managed to make Pia smile a little with a silly face despite her discomfort. They were at the clinic for hours. The doctor said it was viral infection, exacerbated by the cold and stress. Pia was given medication and they were advised to monitor her closely. By the time they got back to the studio, dawn was breaking. Pia, exhausted but with her fever slightly down, was asleep in Caleb's arms. He gently laid her on the mattress, tucking her in. Amber watched him, her heart overflowing with a gratitude so profound it left her breathless. He had been her rock, her savior, not just tonight, but for the past few days. And she had pushed him away. As Caleb turned to leave the room, Amber reached out and touched his arm. Caleb. He stopped, looking at her, his eyes tired but still kind. Salamat, she whispered, her voice choked with emotion. Sa lahat-lahat. Kung wala ka hindi ko alam. He gave her a small, wary smile. Gagaling din si Pia. She's a strong kid. Like her mom. He paused, then added softly, magpahinga ka na, Amber. You look exhausted. He quietly left the room, leaving Amber alone with her sleeping daughter and a heart full of conflicting emotions. His confession, Pia's sickness, his unwavering support. It was all too much. Bakit mo pa kami tinutulungan, Caleb? The question still echoed in her mind. But now, she knew the answer. And it scared her more than anything. Because a part of her, a very small, very frightened part of her, was starting to feel something too. Something she thought she'd never feel again. Pia's fever broke after his day, thanks to the medication and Caleb's surprisingly gentle nursing. Binantayan niya si Pia halos buong magdamag, pinupunasan ng maligamam na tubig, pinapainom ng gamot, at kinukwentuhan ng mga pusa at aso na nadrawing niya. Amber, still reeling from Caleb's confession and exhausted from worry, could only watch with a mixture of gratitude and a growing sense of unease. His confession, maybe part of me still loves you, Amber, had thrown her completely off balance. She'd spent years building walls around her heart, thick and impenetrable, to protect herself and Pia. Caleb, with his quiet kindness and unexpected declaration, was threatening to breach those walls. At natatakot siya. Sobra. Hindi na nila napag-usapan yung pag-alis nila Amber. After Pia got sick, it just didn't seem right. Caleb didn't bring it up, and Amber, frankly, didn't know where else to go. She started looking for a new room to rent, something cheap, something she could afford, but options were scarce. She also tried looking for extra work, anything to save up faster. Pero ang mundo ay maliit, lalo na sa isang komunidad na tulad ng sa kanila. News of a single mom and her daughter staying with the reclusive artist Caleb Monteverde started to spread like wildfire sa barangay. Unang-una nang nakarating ang chismis sa palengke, kung saan paminsan-minsan ay bumibili si Amber ng mga pangangailangan nila. Naku, Amber, iha, sabi ni Aling Pacing, yung tindera ng isda na suki niya dati. Balita ko, nakatira ka na daw dun kay Caleb na pintor. Naks naman, ang swerte mo. Gwapo yun at mukhang mabait kahit medyo suplado tingnan. Amber forced a smile. Nakikituloy lang po kami pansamantala, Aling Pacing. Naghahanap na po kami ng malilipatan. Ay, ganun ba? Aling Pacing said, her eyes glinting with curiosity. Pero wag ka, iha, maraming may gusto dyan kay Caleb. Tahimik lang yan pero may dating. Ingat ka, baka maunahan ka ng iba, she added with a wink. Amber just mumbled a non-committal reply and quickly finished her errands. The gossip made her uncomfortable. Hindi siya sanay na pinag-uusapan, lalo na kung tungkol sa personal na buhay niya. At lalo na kung tungkol kay Caleb. Then came the encounter with Caleb's tita. Si Tita Lorna ay kapatid ng nanay ni Caleb, a well-meaning but rather blunt woman who occasionally visited Caleb to check on him, or, as Caleb jokingly put it, to make sure I'm still eating real food and not just paint. One afternoon, while Caleb was out buying art supplies, Tita Lorna dropped Give unexpectedly. Natagpuan niya si Amber sa maliit na kusina, naghahanda ng merienda para kay Pia. Ikaw ba yung Amber? Tita Lorna asked, her eyes appraising Amber from head to toe. Hindi ito galit tingnan pero may authority sa boses. Oo po, Amber replied, medyo kinakabahan. Kayo po si Tita Lorna, di po ba? Nabanggit po kayo ni Caleb. Ako nga, Tita Lorna said, placing a bayong of fruits on the small table. At ikaw naman, ang laman ng chismis sa buong barangay. Amber flushed. Tita, nakikituloy lang po kami ni Pia. Pansamantala lang po. Alam ko pong. Hisha, Tita Lorna cut her off, her voice firm but not unkind. Alam kong mabait kang bata. At mahal na mahal mo yang anak mo. Pero kailangan mong malaman si Caleb, hindi na siya basta-basta lang na lalaki ngayon. He's making a name for himself. His paintings they're starting to get noticed by serious collectors. May mga gallery na interesado sa kanya. He has a future, Amber. Amber nodded slowly, unsure where this was going. Ang punto ko, iha, Tita Lorna continued, her gaze softening a bit, ayaw kong masira ang reputasyon niya. Ayaw kong isipin ng mga tao na sinasamantala mo siya. O na ginagamit mo siya. The words, though spoken more gently than Aling Nidas, still stung. Sinasamantala? Ginagamit? Was that how people saw her? Was that how Caleb's own family saw her? The hiya was almost unbearable. Hindi ko po yun gagawin kailanman, Tita, Amber said, her voice trembling slightly. Si Caleb po, sobrang bait niya sa amin. Utang na loob ko po sa kanya ang lahat. Alam ko, iha. At naniniwala ako sa'yo, Tita Lorna said. Pero ang mga tao iba ang takbo ng isip nila. Minsan, kahit anong linis ng intensyon mo, dudungisan pa rin nila. She sighed. Mahal ni Caleb ang pagpipinta. Yun ang buhay niya. At ayaw kong maging hadlang ka doon, o maging dahilan para madistract siya. Tita Lorna didn't explicitly tell her to leave, but the message was clear. Amber was a burden. A potential scandal. A threat to Caleb's rising career. After Tita Lorna left, Amber felt a cold dread settle in her heart. Maybe Tita Lorna was right. Maybe she was ruining things for Caleb. He deserved someone who could stand beside him, not someone who would drag him down with her own baggage. He deserved someone who wasn't her. The jealous she felt wasn't for another woman. It was jealous for Caleb's future, a future she felt she had no place in. That evening, when Caleb came home, Amber was unusually quiet. He noticed it immediately. May problema ba, Amber? He asked, concern etched on his face. Amber couldn't look at him. Caleb, she began, her voice flat. Kailangan na naming umalis ni Pia. Bukas na bukas. Caleb looked surprised, then hurt. Pero akala ko ba okay na tayo? Akala ko ba? Hindi okay, Caleb. Amber snapped, her own fear and frustration bubbling to the surface. Hindi tayo okay. Nakatira kami dito. Pinapakain mo kami. Pero hanggang kailan? Hindi pwedeng habang buhay kaming aasa sa'yo. Hindi naman yun ang sinasabi ko, Amber, Caleb said, his voice calm despite her outburst. Ang sinasabi ko lang, pwede kayong magstay hanggat kailangan nyo. Hanggat makahanap ka ng maayos na malilipatan. At paano yung reputasyon mo? Amber challenged, echoing Tita Lorna's words. Paano yung career mo? Narinig ko, Caleb. You're getting noticed. Ayokong maging dahilan para masira yun. Ayokong isipin ng mga tao na ginagamit kita. Caleb stared at her, his eyes filled with deep sadness. Hindi ko alam kung sinong naglagay ng mga ganyang ideya sa isip mo, Amber, pero hindi yan totoo. Wala akong pakialam sa sasabihin ng ibang tao. Ang mahalaga sa akin, okay kayo ni Pia. Ikaw lang, pero bakit ako natatakot? The thought screamed in Amber's mind. Si Caleb lang ang nagpakita sa kanya ng ganitong kabutihan, ng ganitong pag-aalaga. Pero yung takot na masaktan ulit, na maging pabigat, na sirain ang buhay ng taong tumutulong sa kanya mas matindi. Hindi, Caleb, Amber said, shaking her head, her voice firm with decision she felt she had to make, no matter how much it hurt. Hindi mo naiintindihan. We have to go. For your sake. And for ours. She turned away, unable to bear the pain in his eyes. Please, wag mo na kaming pigilan. Caleb didn't say anything for a long moment. Then, he let out a slow, heavy sigh. CJ, Amber. Kung yan talaga ang gusto mo. His voice was devoid of emotion, but Amber could hear the heartbreak beneath it. The next morning, Amber and Pia left Caleb's studio. Amber had found a teeny, cramped room for rent a few barangays away, barely big enough for the two of them, but it was all she could afford. Caleb helped them move their few belongings, his face a mask of polite indifference. Walang imikan. Walang tinginan. The warmth that had briefly existed between them was gone, replaced by chilling distance. Pia, however, didn't understand. Mama, Greve are we leaving Kuya Caleb's house? I like it there. I like Kuya Caleb, she said, her lower lip trembling as they settled into the new, bare room. Kailangan, anak, Amber said, trying to sound cheerful, though her heart was breaking. May sarili kasing buhay si Kuya Caleb. Hindi tayo pwedeng makigulo doon. But Kuya Caleb is nice. He draws with me. Pia started to tear Revi, big, fat tears rolling down her cheeks. I miss him already, Mama. I want Kuya Caleb. Amber hugged her daughter tightly, her own tears threatening to fall. Anak. Magiging okay din tayo. Magdodrawing tayo mamaya, ha? Later that day, Amber found Pia sitting in corner, her small sketchbook open. Pia had drawn a stick figure of a man with sad eyes, standing alone. Beside it, she had drawn a crying girl and a woman with a heart that was broken in two. Si Kuya Caleb yan, Mama, Pia whispered, pointing to the sad man. He's sad because we left. And we're sad too. Amber looked at the drawing, and a sob escaped her lips. She had done it again. She had pushed away someone who cared. She had chosen fear over hope. She had broken not just her own heart, but her daughter's too. At ang pinakamasakit, alam niyang nasaktan niya rin si Caleb. Ikaw lang, Caleb. Ikaw lang ang naging mabuti sa amin. Pero bakit ako ganito katakot? The hiya she felt wasn't just from the gossip anymore. It was hiya for herself, for her own cowardice. She had let her past dictate her present, and in doing so, she might have just lost the only chance she had at a future filled with kindness and, dare she even think it, love. The teeny room Amber rented felt like prison. Masikip, mainit, at puno ng anino ng pagsisisi. Every creak of the floorboards, every distant shout from the bustling street outside, seemed to amplify the emptiness in her heart. Pia was listless, her usual bubbly energy gone. Madalas itong nakatulala, o kaya naman ay nagdodrawing ng mga malulungkot na mukha sa kanyang sketchpad. At si Muning, yung pusa niyang stuffed toy, ay laging yakap-yakap, na parang doon na lang kumukuha ng konting comfort. Amber threw herself into her work, taking on extra shifts, cleaning more houses, waitressing until her feet ached and her back screamed in protest. She needed the money, yes, but more than that, she needed the distraction. Ayaw niyang mag-isip. Ayaw niyang alalahanin yung mga mata ni Caleb nung huli silang nagkita, yung sakit, yung pagkadismaya. Pero kahit anong pilit niyang iwasan, Caleb was everywhere. Sa bawat sulok ng isip niya, sa bawat tibok ng puso niya. She missed his quiet presence, his gentle smile, the way he looked at Pia with such affection. She missed the smell of paint and coffee in his studio, the comforting chows of his art. She missed him. One afternoon, a week after they had left, Amber came home from the palenque, tired and disheartened. Ang mahal ng bilihin at ang kita niya parang laging kulang. Pagbukas niya ng pinto ng kanilang kwarto, may kakaiba. Nakatayo sa gitna ng kwarto, nakasandal sa dingding, ay isang painting. Isang malaking portrait. It was of her and Pia. Nanlaki ang mga mata ni Amber. The painting was breathtaking. It captured them in a moment of quiet joy, Pia laughing, her arms around Amber's neck, and Amber looking down at her daughter with a love so fierce, so tender, it made her own heart ache. The colors were vibrant, the brushstrokes confident yet gentle. It was unmistakably Caleb's work. He had painted them from memory, or perhaps from the stolen glances he used to take. Beside the painting, on the floor, was a small, folded note. Her hands trembled as she picked it up. Amber, the note read, in Caleb's familiar, neat handwriting. I understand, Caleb, why you had to leave. And I won't stop you. But please know this, you are not a burden. You are strong, you are beautiful, and you are a wonderful mother. Pia is lucky to have you. And I was lucky to have known you both, even for a short while. This is for you. A reminder, perhaps, of the light you both bring, even when things seem dark. Huwag kang sanang magsawang maghintay sa liwanag. Caleb. The dam broke. Amber sank to the floor, clutching the note to her chest, and wept. She cried for her foolishness, for her fear, for the pain she had caused Caleb, for the happiness she had denied herself and her daughter. The portrait was a symbol of everything she had pushed away, Caleb's quiet support, his unwavering belief in her, his selfless love. Pinaalis ko yung taong totoo lang sana, the thought echoed the pain Jessa felt in the previous story, but this time, it was Amber's own heart-wrenching realization. She had let go of the only person who had truly seen her, truly cared for her, faults and all. Ang guilt, parang laso na kumakalat sa buong sistema niya. Pia, awakened Gisai, her mother's sobs, crawled into her lap. Mama, Belray, are you crying? Is that us? She asked, pointing at the portrait with wide, curious eyes. Amber hugged her daughter tightly. Yes, anak. That's us. Ang ganda, di ba? Si Kuya Caleb ang gumawa. Kuya Caleb di. Pia whispered, her eyes lighting up, then immediately clouding over. I miss Kuya Caleb, Mama. I miss him too, anak, Amber admitted, her voice choked. I miss him so much. It was in that moment, surrounded Gilai the tangible proof of Caleb's affection and her own profound regret, that something shifted within Amber. The fear was still there, dull ache in the background, but new feeling was starting to emerge, pag-asa. It's desperate, fragile hope that maybe, just maybe, it wasn't too late. The next day, Tita Lorna sought her out. Hindi sa palengke, kundi sa mismong tinitirhan nila Amber. Nagulat si Amber, pero pinatuloy niya ito sa kanilang masikip na kwarto. Tita Lorna looked around, her expression unreadable. Then, her eyes landed on the portrait. She was silent for a long moment. Si Caleb ang gumawa niyan, no? Tita Lorna finally said, her voice softer than Amber remembered. Amber nodded, her eyes still puffy from crying. Maganda, Tita Lorna commented. He captured you. Both of you. She turned to Amber. Hiza, nung huli tayong nag-usap siguro, naging masyado akong prangka. O baka naman, naging makitid ang utak ko. Amber looked at her, surprised. Si Caleb, Tita Lorna continued, a fond smile playing on her lips, mula pagkabata, iba na yan. Tahimik, mapag-isa. Pero may napakalaking puso. At yung puso na iyon, ihamatagal na niyang ibinigay sa'yo. Noon pa man. Alam niyo po? Amber asked, her voice barely a whisper. Tita Lorna nodded. Hindi man siya nagsasalita pero nararamdaman ko. At nakikita ko. Sa mga drawing niya noon, sa mga tingin niya. At lalo na ngayon. Nung umalis kayo parang nawalan ng kulay ang mundo niya. He still paints, yes. But the joy it's gone. Amber felt a fresh wave of guilt. Hisha, Tita Lorna said, taking Amber's hand. Her grip was surprisingly strong, reassuring. Lahat tayo may karapatang sumaya. Lahat tayo may karapatang magmahal at mahalin. Pati ikaw, Amber. You deserve love too. Huwag mong hayaang iyong takot mo o iyong sasabihin ng ibang tao ang magdikta ng kaligayahan mo. Tears welled up in Amber's eyes again, but this time, they were tears of different kind. Tears of gratitude, of dawning understanding. Pero tita, Amber said, paano kung huli na ang lahat? Paano kung nasaktan ko na siya ng sobra? Ang pag-ibig, Amber, Tita Lorna said wisely, kung totoo, matyaga yan. Mapagpatawad. Pero kailangan mo ring gumawa ng hakbang. Kailangan mong ipakita na handa kang lumaban para dito. She squeezed Amber's hand. Puntahan mo siya, iha. Sundan mo ang puso mo. Bago pa mahuli ang lahat. Tita Lorna's words were like a balm to Amber's wounded spirit. For so long, she had felt alone, judged, unworthy. But now, someone was telling her that she deserved happiness. That she deserved Caleb. After Tita Lorna left, Amber looked at the portrait again. Caleb's message replayed in her mind, huwag kang sanang magsawang maghintay sa liwanag. The light. Caleb was her light. And she had almost let him go. No more. His new resolve filled her. She would fight for him. She would fight for them. For Pia. For herself. Pia, anak, Amber said, her voice firm, a spark returning to her eyes. Magbihis ka. Pupuntahan natin si Kuya Caleb. Pia's eyes widened. Talaga po, Mama? Pupuntahan natin si Kuya Caleb. Anak, Amber said, determined smile on her face. At hindi na tayo aalis sa tabi niya. Kung papayag siya. She remembered Caleb mentioning his favorite spot to paint when he needed to think, a quiet stretch of beach, few towns away, where the sunsets were spectacular. It was a long shot, but it was the only lead she had. Kinuha niya ang lahat ng naipon niyang pera. It wasn't much, but it would be enough for their fare. She grabbed a small bag of essentials, and Pia, with surprising solemnity, carefully took the rolled-up portrait. Amber didn't bother with shoes. She didn't bother changing out of her simple house dress. All that mattered was getting to Caleb. She ran out of their small room, Pia's small hand clutching hers tightly, the portrait held like precious treasure. She ran, barefoot and breathless, towards the jeepney terminal, towards the sea, towards Caleb. Towards hope. Huwag kang sanang magsawang maghintay, Caleb, she prayed silently, her heart pounding in her chest. Parating na ako. The journey to the coast felt like an eternity. Bawat preno ng bus, bawat liko sa kalsada, parang nagpapabagal sa tibok ng puso ni Amber na sabik nang makita si Caleb. Pia, unusually quiet beside her, clutched the rolled portrait tightly, her small face a mixture of hope and anxiety. Si Amber naman, panay ang sulyap sa labas ng bintana, bawat madaanan nilang dalampasigan, hinahanap ang isang pamilyar na anyo. Finally, after what seemed like endless hours, the conductor called out the name of the small fishing town Caleb had once described. Nagmamadali silang bumaba ni Pia. The late afternoon sun was beginning its slow descent, painting the air in hues of orange, pink, and lavender. The sea air was salty and cool, a welcome change from the stifling heat of the city. Saan po kaya dito iyong paboritong puntahan ng mga pintor, Manong? Amber asked a local fisherman mending his net beside the shore. The fisherman pointed towards a more secluded part of the beach, where a cluster of rocks formed natural cove. Doon po sa may Dapit Hapon Point, maraming nagpupunta doon pagpalubog na ang araw. Maganda po kasi ang tanawin. Dapit Hapon Point. Sunset Point. It sounded perfect. It sounded like Caleb. Thanking the fisherman, Amber took Pia's hand and they started walking along the beach, their bare feet sinking into the warm sand. The sound of the waves was a soothing karakilig, but it couldn't calm the frantic beating of Amber's heart. Paano kung wala siya doon? Paano kung huli na talaga ang lahat? As they rounded a bend, her breath caught in her throat. There, silhouetted against the magnificent sunset, was a lone figure standing before an easel. Kahit nakatalikod ito, alam ni Amber. Kilalang-kilala niya ang tindig na iyon, ang paraan ng pagkakahawak nito sa brush. Si Caleb. Her legs felt weak, but she pushed herself forward. Pia, anak, dahan-dahan lang, ha, she whispered, not wanting to startle him. Caleb was completely absorbed in his work, his movements fluid and sure as he applied paint to the canvas. He seemed oblivious to their approach. The canvas was facing away from them, so Amber couldn't see what he was painting. When they were just a few feet away, Amber stopped. Her heart was pounding so hard, she felt it would burst. What if he rejected her? What if he was angry? See Caleb. Her voice was a mere whisper, almost carried away by the sea breeze. He froze. Slowly, very slowly, he turned around. His eyes, when they met hers, were wide with disbelief. Gulat. Pag-asa. At isang bakas ng sakit na hindi pa tuluyang nawawala. He looked tired, his clothes stained with paint, but to Amber, he had never looked more beautiful. Amber, he breathed out, as if seeing a ghost. Then his gaze fell on Pia, who was half hiding behind Amber, clutching the portrait. Pia! Kuya Caleb! Pia couldn't contain herself anymore. She ran towards him, her small legs carrying her as fast as they could. Caleb knelt and caught Pia in a hug, burying his face in her hair. Amber could see his shoulders shaking. When he looked up, there were tears in his eyes. Anong ginagawa niyo dito? Amber walked towards them, her own eyes welling up. Hinahanap ka namin, Caleb. He stood up, still holding Pia's hand, his gaze fixed on Amber. The setting sun cast golden glow around them, making the moment feel almost surreal. Akala ko ayaw mo na akong makita, Caleb said, his voice hoarse. Akala ko rin, Amber confessed, her voice trembling. Akala ko iyon ang tama. Akala ko iyon ang kailangan mong gawin para sa'yo. Pero mali ako, Caleb. Sobrang mali. She took deep breath. This was it, no more fear. No more holding back. Nung umalis kami parang namatay yung isang parte ng pagkatao ko. Yung ilaw na sinabi mo sa sulat mo, ikaw yun, Caleb. Ikaw yung liwanag namin ni Pia. Tears streamed down Caleb's face now, mirroring hers. He didn't speak, just listened, his eyes never leaving hers. Natakot ako, Caleb, Amber continued, her voice cracking. Natakot akong masaktan ulit. Natakot akong maging pabigat sa'yo. Natakot akong baka hindi ako sapat. Pero mas natatakot pala akong mawala ka sa amin ng tuluyan. She gestured towards the setting sun, its vibrant colors a stark contrast to the grayness she had felt for days. Ako na ba ngayon ang kulay ng mundo mo, Caleb? Kasi ikaw na ang kulay ng sa amin. The question, play on how artists often refer to their muses or inspirations, hung in the air. It was a direct echo of a line from an old sad song, a song about finding color in a monochrome world through love. Caleb took a step closer, then another, until he was standing right in front of her. He reached out, paint-stained hand, and gently wiped a tear from her cheek. His touch was electric, sending shivers down her spine. Amber, he said, his voice thick with emotion. Kahit noon pa man, ikaw na ang nagbigay ng kulay sa mundo ko. Noong ipinagtanggol mo ako sa mga bully, yun ang unang beses na nakakita ako ng matingkad na kulay sa madilim kong mundo. Nung dumating kayo ni Pia sa studio para akong binigyan ng bagong set ng pintura, yung pinakamatingkad, pinakamaganda. He looked down at Pia, who was beaming up at them, then back at Amber. Isang beses lang ba kita kayang mahalin, Amber? He asked, his voice filled with a raw vulnerability that mirrored her own. Amber's heart ached at his question. Did he think her love was fleeting, conditional? Hindi, Caleb, she whispered, shaking her head fervently. Hindi lang isang beses. Habang buhay. Kung papayag ka. A slow, breathtaking smile spread across Caleb's face. Kahit isang beses lang nasabihin mong mahal mo ako, Amber, sapat na iyon para sa akin. Sapat na iyon para punuin ng kulay ang buong buhay ko. Mahal kita, Caleb Monteverde, Amber said, her voice clear and strong, despite the tears. Mahal na mahal kita. And then, she did what she had been longing to do for days. She threw her arms around his neck and hugged him tight, burying her face in his paint-stained shirt, inhaling his familiar scent. He hugged her back just as fiercely, lifting her slightly off the ground, his body trembling against hers. It was a hug filled with longing, with forgiveness, with a love that had overcome fear and doubt. Mahal din kita, Amber, Caleb whispered into her hair. Mahal na mahal. They stood there for a long moment, locked in an embrace, the waves crashing gently at their feet, the sunset painting the earth in masterpiece of colors. It was a perfect moment, a kilig moment that felt like it was stolen from a dream. Mama! Kuya Caleb! Pia's small voice broke through the reverie. They pulled apart slightly, looking down at Pia. She was holding up the portrait Caleb had made, her small face beaming with pride. Look! It's us! Our family picture. Caleb chuckled, his eyes shining. He knelt beside Pia. Ang ganda, di ba, Pia? Tayong tatlo. Amber knelt beside them, completing the circle. The three of them, silhouetted against the fiery sunset, with the portrait of their love held between them. It was a full-circle moment indeed. From a dark, rainy night of eviction to a bright, hopeful sunset beside the sea. Caleb looked at the portrait, then at Amber, then at Pia. He reached out and gently touched the painted image of their faces. Alam niyo ba kung ano nang ipinipinta ko kanina bago kayo dumating? He asked, a mysterious smile on his lips. Amber and Pia shook their heads. Caleb turned his easel around. On the canvas was the painting, nearly complete. It was a portrait of Amber, her face illuminated with a soft light, her eyes looking out at the sea, a small, hopeful smile on her lips. It was stunning. He had captured her essence, her strength, her quiet beauty. I was painting is I hope, Caleb said softly, his eyes locked on Amber. Umaasa ako na balang araw, babalik ka. Na balang araw, makikita mo rin yung liwanag na nakikita ko sa'yo. Amber's heart swelled. Nandito na ako, Caleb, she whispered. Hindi na ako aalis. He stood up, pulling her up with him. Pia clapped her hands. Under the magnificent orange air, with the sound of the waves as their witness, Caleb leaned down and kissed Amber. It wasn't a desperate kiss like the one in Jessa and Lino's story. This was a kiss of homecoming, a kiss of promise, a kiss that tasted of salt, paint, and a love that was as vibrant and enduring as the sunset itself. Ako na ba ngayon ang kulay ng mundo mo? The question had been answered. They were each other's colors, each other's light, each other's home. And their world, once filled with shadows and fear, was now bursting with all the brightest hues of love. 6 months later, the aroma of freshly brewed coffee, paint, and something deliciously baking wafted from a newly opened establishment in Caleb's old neighborhood, Kulay at Puso Art Cafe. The name itself was a testament to the journey, place where art and heart converged. The cafe was bright and airy, with large windows letting in natural light. One wall was a vibrant mural depicting scenes of community, hope, and love, a collaborative work with Caleb, Amber, and even Pia, whose small handprints and colorful scribbles were proudly incorporated into the design. Tables were adorned with small, hand-painted coasters, and the walls showcased a rotating exhibit of Caleb's paintings alongside works from local, undiscovered artists he was now mentoring. Amber, no longer just a waitress or cleaner, was now the cafe's manager, her natural warmth and efficiency shining through. She moved with newfound confidence, greeting customers with genuine smile, a stark contrast to the haunted look she wore months ago. Ang lungkot sa mga mata niya, napalitan na ng saya at pagmamahal. Caleb, when he wasn't in his adjoining studio, a much neater, more organized version of his old one, thanks to Amber, could often be found sketching at one of the cafe tables, or patiently teaching a group of kids, including Pia, the basics of drawing during the weekend art workshops. And Pia was thriving. She was a bubbly, happy 6-year-old, her sketchbook now filled with colorful drawings of suns, rainbows, and happy stick figures. She had this special name for Caleb now. One day, while Caleb was helping her with a particularly tricky drawing of a cat, she had looked up at him, her eyes shining, and said, "You're not just Kuya Caleb anymore. You're Dimbe Tatay Caleb." The word Tatay had brought tears to Caleb's eyes. He had hugged Pia tightly, his heart overflowing. Para sa kanya, yun ang pinakamagandang obra maestra na narinig niya. Today was the soft opening of Kulay at Puso. Friends, family, including a beaming Tita Lorna who was now Amber's biggest cheerleader, and Nanay Elena and Lola Remedios from the previous story, who had become good friends with Caleb's family through art events, and curious neighbors filled the cozy space. Ang ganda dito, Nak, Tita Lorna said to Amber, her arm linked through hers as they surveyed the happy crowd. Bagay na bagay sa inyo ni Caleb. Parang itinadhana talaga. Amber smiled, her gaze drifting to where Caleb was standing with Pia on his shoulders, both of them laughing as they pointed at something on the mural. Opo, tita. Siguro nga po. Minsan, yung mga hindi mo inaasahan, yun pa pala ang para sa'yo. Ginhawa. That was the overwhelming feeling in Amber's heart. A deep sense of peace, of belonging. After years of struggle, of running, of hiding, she had finally found her safe harbor. Later, during a quiet moment, Caleb approached Amber, a cup of her favorite cappuccino in his hand. For the best calf manager, no, he said, his eyes crinkling at the corners. Bolero, Amber teased, taking a sip. Pero masarap tong kape, ha? Sino ang barista? Secret, Caleb grinned. Pero may talent din pala ako sa pagtimpla, bukod sa pagpinta. He wrapped an arm around her waist, pulling her close. Happy, mahal? Amber leaned her head on his shoulder, looking around at their dream come true. Sobra, mahal. Sobrang saya. Salamat sayo. Salamat sayo, Amber, Caleb said softly. Kasi hindi ka sumuko sa atin. Kasi pinili mong bumalik. Their first official art exhibit at Kulay at Puso was titled, Mga Kulay ng Pag-ibig, Colors of Love. It featured Caleb's new series of paintings, all inspired by their journey. There was the poignant piece titled Eviction Night, depicting a stormy, dark scene but with a teeny, warm light emanating from a stopped car. There was Studio Sanctuary, showing Pia happily drawing amidst the chaotic beauty of Caleb's old studio. And the centerpiece, of course, was the original portrait of Amber and Pia that Caleb had left for them, now proudly displayed with new title, Pag-asa at Hope. Beside each painting, Amber had written short narrative, sharing snippets of their story, her words as evocative as Caleb's brushstrokes. The exhibit was a hit, not just for the artistry, but for the raw, honest emotion it conveyed. One afternoon, few weeks after the opening, Amber found Pia sitting at her favorite little table in the cafe, diligently working on a new drawing in her sketchbook. Mooning, her stuffed cat, sat beside her, wearing teeny, hand-sewn apron Amber had made. What are you drawing, anak? Amber asked, sitting beside her. Pia proudly held up her sketchbook. It was a drawing of 3 stick figures, a tall man, a woman, and a small girl in between, all holding hands. Above them, Pia had drawn a big, smiling sun and a vibrant rainbow. At the bottom, in her careful, childish handwriting, she had written, Ginth Pamilya. Amber's eyes welled up. She pulled Pia into a tight hug. Ang ganda-ganda naman yan, anak. That's the most beautiful drawing I've ever seen. Caleb, who had walked over, smiled, ruffling Pia's hair. Definitely your best work yet, Pia Caso. Pia giggled. Tate Caleb, can we frame this? Like your paintings? Of course, princess, Caleb said. We'll find the perfect spot for it in the cafe. That evening, after closing up, the 3 of them sat together on a small bench outside Kulay at Puso, sharing a plate of a special, rainbow cake Amber had baked. The stars were beginning to pepper the darkening air. Alam nyo, Caleb said, looking from Amber to Pia, his heart full, dati, ang mga kulay ko, nasa pintura lang. Nasa canvas. Pero ngayon ni. He took Amber's hand and squeezed Pia's shoulder. Ngayon, kayo na ang mga kulay ko. Kayo na ang nagbibigay buhay sa lahat. Amber leaned into him, a contented sigh escaping her lips. At ikaw naman ang puso ng mga kulay na yun, mahal. Pia, her mouth smudged with rainbow frosting, snuggled between them. We're a family rainbow, she declared happily. Amber and Caleb loved, their hearts echoing Pia's innocent joy. Sa wakas, buo na rin sila. Their little family, forged in a storm, tested grief, fear and doubt, but ultimately, painted with the enduring colors of love, hope, and forgiveness. From a desperate plea of Ki hindi ka na umiiyak, to a quiet affirmation of Ki sa wakas, buo na rin tayo, their journey was complete. And as they looked up at the starlit sky, they knew this was just the beginning of many more colorful chapters to come. In the quiet of the closed cafe, Pia's sketchbook lay open on a table. The last page showed their family of 3, hand in hand, walking towards a bright, shining sun. It's a perfect ending and an even more perfect beginning.